Welcome back, guys. Reggie vs. Solace. Long-awaited video. I know I've been out a couple weeks on vacation, but I got to do it Knicks Weekly because these Knicks just lost to the Charlotte Hornets, and it was not a pretty sight. Not a pretty sight. I have thoughts on this game. I watched it, and it was very frustrating to see the Knicks go down like this. It wasn't pretty at all. It was some bonehead plays by the players. Julius Randle in particular, our superstar, was off tonight. It took another, because the Knicks did this in the previous game where the bench had to come in and actually will us back in the game before losing, right? And then in this game, against a team with the worst record, they do it again, where the starting five is ice cold, right? Ice cold in the game. And it takes our second squad, starting the third, to be able to come back in the game to bring us close. They tied it at 93. And then Tibbs makes the substitution and puts three of our five starters back in the game. And Charlotte ends up winning the game. And it was some bad plays. So we're going to start it. Let's start with a little bit of highlights and take it from there. Because I'm trying not to be this a rant video. I know I've come back and I don't want to be that rant guy, but this is a frustrating game to watch. All right, let's talk a little bit about it, man. Okay, so, all right. Actually, no, we're going to go here. We're not going to do that. Let's see here. Video recording. Can we do this? Okay. All right. No, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that either. No. Let's talk here. All right. So, we got the Knicks right here, right? And they're leading. But I got some things to say about this, right? Right. Obi Toppin had a great game. He gets the windmill dunk. So, you get Obi to have the windmill dunk. And we're boosted. Bridges comes right back. Boom! Does a windmill dunk right back, talking his shit. Right? The crowd is hype. Right? There's some Knicks fans in Charlotte. There was a lot of boos and stuff, but the crowd was hype. Miles Bridges did his thing, and then boom, we come back and we do our thing. And then Tibbs takes him out the game to put a glacier cold Julius Randle back in the game after the second squad brings us back in the game. He brings in Julius Randle, who's been terrible the whole fucking game. What? And I know Kemba Walker led us in scoring, understandably so, but he was bad. There was bad turnovers. There was way too many threes in the game, right? We started out our victory thing where people were talking 50 burger, 55 burger, 60 burger, taking the most threes in the league. That's going to bite us in the ass because now we've cooled down. Knicks fans, comment in the chat if you've noticed how we've cooled down from three. We've cooled down from three against one of the worst defensive teams in the league right now. So there was countless plays in this game to where the Knicks would drive for the contested two, and they would kick it out, which annoys me. You know me. I love old school 90s, early 2000 Knicks basketball when we were in. That's why my favorite player of all time, not just Nick, but of all time, is Latrell Sprewell. He could shoot the three, no doubt. Spree can shoot the three. He did it in the playoffs. He could shoot the three, but he was a slasher, and I loved it. That 6'5", 200-pound frame, and he would slash that ball. And he was strong at 6'5", 200. He wasn't a skinny 6'5", 200. He could play some three. When him and Allen Houston was on the team, guess what? Spree would play the three. He was that strong. That's why I favored him more than Allen Houston. Getting back to these bum Knicks right here. We're doing the opposite of those great 90s Knicks. We're kicking the ball in getting in the paint and then kicking it out. And we're missing the three. It's like Tibbs is not adjusting. Hell, the players aren't adjusting. We're ice cold from three. Ice cold from three. You got the kid from Washington, Oubre, making threes, back-to-back threes. And we weren't down that far. We're only down three, and you want to take the three? Take the easy two. Take the two, even if it's contested, because you're ice cold from three. The Knicks didn't do that tonight. They didn't do it in the last game, and we're on a streak now of bad gameplay because we're taking too many threes. Look at these guys. The Hornets are up, making plays, and we're ice cold from three. Ice cold. Look at that. You can get in the paint and make plays. Keep that going. That's how you claw your way back. Not shooting on a dumbass three. Make the two. I swear, if Knicks can get back to clawing back, letting the two ball fall, especially when you notice early in the second, early in the third quarter, you're cold from three. If you're cold from three, let the two ball drop. Get your confidence back. But don't kick it out all the time. Quickly was making his plays. And then guess what the fuck Tibbs did in the fourth quarter? Took him out the game. Quickly willed us back. The young bloods was balling. Toppin, Quickly, balling today. It was the old heads that didn't have it. It was the old heads that didn't have it. Randall didn't have it. Kemba Walker didn't have it. Even though he scored his points early. Make the two like Burks did. But Burks in the fourth quarter, he settled for too many threes. It wasn't working. Quickly was hot. No doubt. But we lost the game because we took too many threes. And we was ice cold. Look at what Toppin's doing. That's not even a windmill dunk. And then you take him out the game for an ice cold Randall, which cost us the game. Randall had so many turnovers tonight. He was the one who had it in the paint. You're 6'8". What the fuck you doing, Julius? You're 6'8", and you're in the paint, and then you kick it out to a person who's ice cold from three. And we end up losing the game to the Charlotte Hornets. This was a bad loss. We're about to be 500. The last time I made a video, we were number 1 in the Eastern Conference. Right now, I think we're 7. He should have been in the game. We're leading right here, 91-93, and you take him out? Boom! They went crazy. It's like, okay, it's back. Bridges and Toppin. And then boom, they hit the three. Oubre, fuck. And when we go ice cold from there, look at this. You notice how he did the spin to get in the paint. They're not fucking taking threes. But guess what we do? We take the threes. We're getting cooked. Look, he got in to draw contact when it's fourth quarter. Get big. You're 6'8", you fucking bum. Look at the plays. Look at ball. You notice how he didn't kick it out. He took the two. The twos are good. Why is that criminal where now the Knicks start thinking the two ball is bad? They took so many strong twos to get contact to get the foul. It's called an old school three. And I'm not even a basketball head. That's the old school three. You get the 2 and 1, and then you convert your free throw and you get 3 points. Get big. He's always doing this. Julius Randle, you're not a fucking 3-point guy. You added it to your game, but when you're cold, you're 6'8". Get in the paint. Get the 2. Get some contact. Get the 3 that way. And the Knicks didn't do that. And then Tibbs with the bullshit substitutions. You put an ice cold Randall back in the game. Kemba Walker was cold. You put him back in the game. He didn't deserve that. Quickly deserved to finish the game. Yet the young blood from Kentucky run. And we end up losing to Charlotte. Bad losses. Toronto, bad losses. Charlotte, bad losses. Indiana, bad losses. And yet you go around and you beat the Bucks. Now we lost to the Bucks last game, but that's the champs. You lose to the Bucks, it's cool. We beat them early. We beat the Sixers twice. You beat quality teams that are struggling right now, and you losing to these bum teams. We're better than Charlotte and Indiana. To me, we're better than those teams. To me, I didn't ask for your opinion. My opinion, we're better than them, and we lose to them. So now that looks like I'm foolish. No, the Wizards are leading the Eastern Conference right now. They're 7-3 in the conference. With 8-3 overall. No one thinks they're the best team, but they got the best record. Best team and best record, two different things. Two different things. We beat Chicago. We lose to Charlotte. Charlotte is 10th right now. 500 team, literally 500 team. Let me scroll up and show you where Charlotte is. Charlotte's right there. They're actually a 500 team, and we lose to these guys. It was a bad loss. It was a bad loss. The Knicks were number 1 the last time I made a video, and I know that was 2 weeks ago. Things change. We're sorry now, man. We're barely 500, barely over 500. It's terrible, man. 2-game losing streak. 2-game losing streak. Knicks go down. Bad loss tonight. Bad loss tonight. Tibbs with the weird substitutions. Randall with the kick out trying to get threes. The threes not falling. Kemba Walker falling off a cliff. He's been bad over the past 2 weeks. Let's keep it a buck. Kemba's been bad. Randall in the first couple weeks, not the same guy. Not Randall, but Barrett also. Not the same guy. But he's a young buck. He can run. Quickly can run. Topic and young. You got a young core. That's why they say we're a couple years away. Our boys are young. Let them run. Let them learn from those mistakes. These old cats don't got it right now. Maybe they're too tired. Because that starting 5 is leading the league in minutes. And that's another fact. Let's look at these what we did today, man, against the Hornets, man. This was bad. This was a bad loss. Bad loss. -17. Randall finished with 2 fucking points. Oh my goodness, man. The plus-minus differential is -17 for RJ Barrett. -18 for Julius Randle. Kemba, -23. -23. Fournier, -11. We're terrible, boys. And look at that. And Mitchell Robinson. That's a terrible starting 5 in the past week and a half. The Knicks are looking like trash. And we were so dominant early on. The adjustments, Tibbs, these players. We were so pissed off we lost the back-to-back to Orlando. We came out and rattled a couple more wins off, right? What happened to that aggressive where Julius Randle said he couldn't sleep? Because we ended up with, it was a back-to-back. We won the first game against Orlando. You know, back-to-back, they played a hell of a good game, snuck out the victory, and the Knicks players were pissed. So the next time we came out, the next week, we smoked whoever we played. I think it was Chicago or whatever team, Philly or Chicago. I think it was Philly, and then we played Chicago, whatever the heck. But Julius came out and said, hey, I was so pissed I couldn't sleep. We let one slip away. The first loss. And the Magic, that was their first win of the season. He was pissed. What happened to that? Because now We got multiple losses in a row. Multiple losses in a row. Bad game. Bad game. It's you know it's a bad game when you see this. When you see Mitchell Robinson having more points than Julius Randle. When Mitchell has more points than Julius Randle, you know it's a bad game and you know it's a loss for the Knicks. I'll just keep it just like that. I'll just keep it like that. Kemba had a terrible game, and even though he scored 26. It was a bad 26. I'll put it like that. It was a bad 26. True story. Shout out to Toppin. Shout out to Quickly. Quickly had 9. Toppin had 7. I wish they would have got more minutes. Kemba had 30 minutes and didn't deserve it. Fournier had 26 minutes and gave us 5 points as our shooting guard, by the way. Terrible. 32 minutes for Randle, he gave us 10. And RJ was just garbage. A big 25 minutes and you give us 2 points. Oh man, boys. And Julius Randle, 5 turnovers. Terrible. It was bad. This was a bad game by Randle. Kemba, like I said, scored 26, but it was a bad 26. RJ Barrett had a terrible game also. This was bad losing to Chicago. I mean, to Charlotte. I just want to keep it out there. Now the Knicks end up with 7-6 on the year. 7-6 on the year. And this was a terrible loss. Like I said, the last time I made a video about the Knicks, my Knicks weekly series, we were on top of the world. There's no talk about 50 burgers now. Now we're looking like a 30, 36, 37 win team instead of 50 wins, which is terrible. We're looking like a play-in team right now. It's so bad, guys. It's so bad. But that's the way it is, you know. That's whatever. That's the Knicks. That's the Knicks for you. Knicks lose to the Charlotte Hornets. We're on a 2-game slide, and right now we're a 7-6, and I think we're like 7th or 8th in the Eastern Conference. It's bad. Let me know your thoughts. We'll be back next week with another Knicks Weekly recap, and hopefully we can get it better going forward. Reggie versus Salas, reporting out.